Now, if there's one thing that we can really say about Disney as a company when it comes to 2023 and the ongoing trend that they have been going through, has a lot to do with box office failures and very low fan feedback and reception levels from multiple movies out there like, of course, Elemental, Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny, The Little Mermaid, and let's not forget about the upcoming The Marvels and Snow White 2024. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into the subject, shall we? Now, we know that Brie Larson is really, one of the three most insufferable actresses in Hollywood. And for those of you that are wondering who is on that list, at least as far as my opinion goes, it is Brie Larson, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and the latest, Rachel Zegler. And to be honest, I think that Rachel Zegler has dethroned the previous two. She really is at the top right now. But moving onwards, what's really intriguing has a lot to do with what Brie Larson is going through with the current status of everything ranging from her banishment from Hollywood / her blacklisting from many major Hollywood studios, and the situation just keeps getting on, of course, a more serious level. And of course, it's also getting very much a lot more complex, so to speak, for herself as an actress, because let's face it, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the backbone to her career, and even that is, of course, getting sabotaged in the process by Disney. Now, with that being said, what's interesting about all of this by Bob Iger and the Disney board and many of the other Hollywood studios that really want nothing to do with Brie Larson is that with actress Brie Larson currently facing many issues in Hollywood, especially after the ongoing trouble that she caused with the Avengers cast, and how Fast X was a flop for her. One significant development has to do with her blacklisting and banishment from Hollywood. Most recently, more Hollywood studios have now already blacklisted Brie Larson from ever getting a role, and the situation just got more severe. Already, studios like WB, Universal, along with Paramount, are also now restricting Brie from ever getting an acting gig again. However, other studios have now joined the list that ranges from Sony Pictures, Columbia Pictures, Legendary, and Lionsgate. The main reasoning behind the banishment of Brie Larson in Hollywood has much to do with her growing, unlikable character and personality nature, and the ongoing drama and trouble that she caused on various sets of different productions and studios have come to the realization that she is box office poison. Now, let me, say one thing about Brie Larson real quick before I move on. She did cause a lot of problems, and we will never forget about what she did with the Avengers cast. Alright, you guys may recall this happened years ago. She was creating more and more issues on hand, and even Nissan wants to drop her out of the Nissan commercials now. Basically, she's running her last course of commercials. They're beginning to phase her out as well, and that just goes to show you that people like Brie Larson, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Rachel Zegler, their careers are very short-lived, like, on the grand scale of things, under 10 years, as far as major roles go. So, I think it's going to be a very interesting thing to see exactly what happens with Disney now, because they themselves are already beginning to phase her out, and we're going to be talking about the specifics about that in just a second, because we know that the Marvels, let's face it, Brie Larson said some pretty dumb things the past couple of months about this movie, about how it's going to be the most diverse Marvel movie yet, and how it's going to be one of the best in, ways to pretty much display how powerful Captain Marvel really is in this movie. It just goes to show you that this film is not only officially stated to be the wackiest and the silliest Marvel movie. The director Nia actually talked about that. She actually explained how this movie is going to be the wackiest of them all. Out of every single Marvel movie and TV show, it will be just that, and that's alarming. That's alarming enough just because the director is saying that and making that openly vivid and clear. Again, I don't know if that's a way for her to sabotage the film, but I think that she inadvertently did that, to tell you guys the truth. But moving onwards here, this is where matters get even worse for Brie Larson, is that Warner Brothers was already planning to bring Brie Larson back for a sequel to Kong Skull Island that was planned for an announcement in 2024, and we're also planning to bring Brie back for Godzilla vs. Kong 2, the, of course, sequel to the first one that's going to be releasing next year, and how those conversations fell flat and dropped immediately just recently. With Disney already canceling Brie Larson's Captain Marvel sequel and many Disney Plus Marvel shows, even Disney is beginning to slowly phase out Brie Larson as they are fully aware of how big of a box office failure the Marvels will become once it drops in theaters by this November, unless they decide to delay it for promotional purposes being excluded right now. Larson was also in the talks to reprise her role for Mrs. Marvel Season 2, to have multiple cameos, but those conversations too fell flat and came to a complete halt. Now, for Disney, Brie is even ready to walk away from the future Avengers films, such as Secret Wars as an example, as a result, to display an ultimatum against Disney to reignite her cameos again, including the Captain Marvel sequel. Now, here's the thing about Brie Larson. She is very overly demanding. She believes that she deserves everything in the world. And let's not forget about the fact that she believes that she is the most powerful Marvel character of all time that deserves the biggest respect among the fans. And I think the fact that she really puts that in the fans' faces all the time, that she's the most powerful, that she is, you know, the very actress that deserved this role and deserves to get more spotlight, I think it just goes to show you that she is very egotistical and really just does not care about the fan base, does not care about the source material of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I think that this is a great move by all these Hollywood studios slowly phasing her out. Even Disney is beginning to wake up, at least to a degree, that Brie Larson is, yes, box office poison, as much as Rachel Zegler is, as much as, let's not forget about Phoebe Waller-Bridge is. We got a great example of that with Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny. You know, it wasn't just because Kathleen Kennedy overfunded it. A lot of people were just so tired of really hearing Phoebe Waller-Bridge say all those crazy things about Indy 5. But moving on from that, I don't want to ramble on too much about Dial of Destiny, but the thing about Brie Larson is that not only does Nissan want to exclude her, which is a big deal. I mean, that's another backbone to her career, by the way, are those commercials. At the end of the day, she is somebody that only tried to pursue fame at the end of the road, which is not how you go about doing things with success, either as an actor or actress or anything like that. People that chase fame like that tend to fizzle out quite quickly and really don't have a real goal in sight. And so that's why her acting is very subpar. So anyway, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to morning.